Hey there, Eugene. This is Vince Casey, your friend in real estate, here to give you a brief update for the Eugene real estate market for Tuesday, July 28th, 2020. So I know a lot of you out there still have concerns about the coronavirus. I know there's a lot of national news reports giving all sorts of different indications of what's happening out there. And a lot of you are concerned on how that's affecting the real estate market. Just to give you a brief synopsis, there's a lot of different markets that create a lot of different scenarios in America. So you may be hearing reports of markets turning down. A lot of times those are balanced markets that have, like in the Midwest, that were already kind of struggling. If they lost a lot of their activity, then they really are taking a downturn. Here in Eugene and the West Coast in general, we have what's called an urban growth boundary. And even though our housing prices may seem high to some, they're also a lot lower than a lot of the West Coast. So we do have a unique situation here that kind of insulates us for the meantime, that it creates a really strong seller's market. And one of the reasons that I do my shows Tuesdays at 10, and that's when I go live, is because Mondays, Matthew Gardner, a chief economist, gives his report every Monday. And I like to tune into that before I talk to you guys. And one of his main sticking points was we had a huge bounce back this June. So even though we did see activity drop quite a bit, February, March, and April, we are starting to see a bounce back. And we didn't quite bounce back to where we were last year as far as activity goes. But as far as a seller's market, we're actually in more intense of a seller's market right now due to lack of inventory than we were last year. So here's a new stat I'm going to throw at you guys. Basically, if you stopped having people list their homes, there is a stat that shows months of inventory. Like if all new listings stopped today, we would have this many months of inventory. If you're in a seller's market, you would have less than 6 months of inventory. If you have more than 6 months of inventory, you're in a balanced market. So to give you an idea, if we stopped today putting on new listings, we would have 1.3 months of inventory left to suit the demand of buyers that are in line for housing. And at this time last year, in 2019, we actually had 1.6 months of inventory. So we are actually in a tighter seller's market right now than we were last year. Now that doesn't speak to the activity. We are still experiencing a bit of a downturn in activity, but June just had a huge bounce back. So we're just kind of barely below where we were last year with that as well. So if that trend continues, I would imagine August is going to be a really good month. I know that may discourage some of the buyers that I've been telling this would be a good time to buy. You're still having phenomenal APR rates. So you still have that advantage. Just know that if you see a house that you like, you may want to go see it that day as opposed to waiting to see it the following weekend or whatever your normal strategy would be. And while you're there, you might have to make a decision in a few hours rather than a few days. You might be competing against 2 or 3 other buyers, just depending on how aggressive they are. You may have to adjust your strategy. So just keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for Matthew Gardner's Mondays with Matthew report. He's on YouTube. I believe he's on Facebook here. So keep an ear to the ground. It's definitely still a good time to participate in the market. If you have any questions, per usual, feel free to email me, or text me, or direct message me here on Facebook. Hope everybody's having a great day. Stay cool out there and stay safe and take care. Bye-bye.